What's your favorite South Park quote? Jimmy, I lost my crutches. Kyle, you have your crutches. Jimmy, it's a saying among us crippled people. We'd say we lost an arm and a leg, but they ain't worth much. Cartman, it makes sense. After saying the N-word on national television. Kids, your father only said that because he thought he was going to win a lot of money. Well, Stan, the truth is marijuana probably isn't gonna make you kill people, and it most likely isn't gonna fund terrorism, but, well son, pot makes you feel fine with being bored, and it's when you're bored that you should be learning some new skill or discovering some new science or being creative. If you smoke pot you may grow up to find out that you aren't good at anything. Randy Marsh. Wendy, Mr. Garrison, that's sexist. Garrison, well I'm sorry Wendy, but I just don't trust anything that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die. What is sexual harassment? Yes Eric. When you're trying to have intercourse with a lady friend, and some other guy comes up and tickles your balls from behind. You know, I first created Vagisil to try and help my wife, Patty. She is my muse, my flame. Wherever Patty goes her smile lights up the room. Her vagina, on the other hand, clears the room and makes it uninhabitable for weeks. Who had the most to gain from 9/11? Kyle, who was nowhere to be seen on the morning the towers fell? Kyle, who dropped a deuce in the urinal? Kyle. It's a man's obligation to stick his bone eration in a woman's separation. This sort of penetration will increase the population of the younger generation. If I'm bi-curious and I'm somehow made from God, then I figure God must be a little bi-curious himself. Cartman, you're the worst character ever. Totally I know. Link, I see that you're enticed by my daughter's awesome rocking tits. Go now to the fountain of Arnof, appease the gods by lathering her breasts with soapy suds. Officer Barbrady, yes. At first I was happy to be learning how to read. It seemed exciting and magical, but then I read this Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. I read every last word of this garbage, and because of this piece of shit, I am never reading again. When Cartman is on the hunt for semen at the sperm bank, then some old guy said if I went in the alley, closed my eyes and sucked on a hose I could have all the semen I wanted. Not an exact quote, but I was shocked they let that on TV at the time. You need to understand that being gay isn't a decision. A lot of people think it's Asians who decide who's gay and who's not. But it isn't all Asians. It's specifically the Japanese. Now why do the Japanese make some people gay and others not? Well, it all goes back to World War II, and atrocities that happened in China called the Rape of Nanking. Randy Marsh. But Stan, don't you know? It's always between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Nearly every election since the beginning of time has been between some douche and some turd. Rise and shine guys, if you scored last night I'll need your consent forms. Whoa, did you perform cunnilingus? That's a separate form bro. I hate rainbows. You're sitting there, minding your own business, then one comes up, crawls up your leg, goes in your ass, and bites you. Your face looks like someone tried to put out a forest fire with a screwdriver. I love how almost half of them are Randy or about Randy. Sorry, I meant to say Lord. Mine being I didn't hear no bell, which has been already written before me. Our accidental drilling spill again in the Gulf is a tragedy that should have never happened. And to all those affected I want to say we are deeply sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. What's to understand? You get a boner, slap her titties around some, then stick it inside her and pee. Just gonna get a little bit of cancer. Stan. Tell mom it's okay. Randy from the episode Medicinal Fried Chicken. When Kenny's parents bring out his urn after he dies of cancer. Cartman says in the most innocent and confused voice ever, "You turned him into a teapot?" Funniest fucking line I ever heard. I don't make the rules. I just think them up and write them down, by Eric Cartman. I often use it while playing D&D. Every time a customer calls with what looks like a network issue I hear there's some internet out west. Not a South Park quote from an episode, but rather an apology tweet to the CCP for an episode that made them mad. The perfect response, haha. Student athletes. Ho ho, that is brilliant sir. Now, when we sell their likeness for video games, how do we get around paying for our slaves as student athletes then? So on point. Cartman, no, kitty, that's my pot pie. Kitty's being a dildo. I know one little kitty that's sleeping with mama tonight. This one time, like 8 months ago, I saw 2 guys kissing in a park. And that was the gayest thing I'd ever seen, until I saw the Cozy FM Halloween haunt. Eric Cartman is how do I reach these kids? Can't exactly say why it's my favorite, I just find myself saying it a lot. Kyle Broflovsky, goddammit. Nobody here is Mexican Joker, that's not what I meant. The future is not set, we make decisions now that affect our future. The third and fourth line lifted me out of my depression. Announcing the residences at the lofts at Sodoso Pa, these finely appointed residences all feature state-of-the-art finishes and balconies with views of historic Kenny's house. When a chick says we need to talk, you might as well start punching yourself in the balls, dude. Cartman: Stan, you do not say big silly goose, you call him an asshole like a normal kid. Randy: do you remember when we fucked that bat in Wuhan? Mickey Mouse: I've fucked a lot of bats. Randy: well, I've only fucked one. X200B. Channel: South Park Studios. X200B. Skip to 325. Based on the fact I'm in a D&D session discussing a jerk, Power Mad member who was thrown out, I am Blurog and I have the power to have lots and lots of powers. Who can forget this Butters quote? I love life. I'm sad. But at the same time I'm really happy that something can make me feel that sad. It's like it makes me feel alive, you know? It makes me feel human. The only way I can feel this sad now is if I felt something really good before. So I had to take the bad with the good. So I guess what I'm feeling is, like a beautiful sadness. Not necessarily a quote, but the Crab People song gets in my head fairly often. Crab people, taste like crab, talk like people. When I was in high school, there was an episode where Kyle was trying to get his dad a resurrection and my Catholic mom walked in to see Cartman on a cross screaming, "Get me down from here, god damn it," and she said, "Shut that shit off now." I will never forget that moment, smiling face with hearts. If you want to be a nonconformist, all you have to do is dress exactly like we do and listen to the same music as us. Goth kids. I always laugh at the part in the movie where Cartman says, "Kyle, I'm sorry for calling you a Jew. You're not really a Jew," and Kyle says, "No dude. I am a Jew." And Cartman says, "No, you shouldn't be so hard on yourself. Pre-order doesn't mean shit, okay? When you pre-order a game, you're just committing to pay for something that some assholes in California haven't even finished working on yet. You know what you get when you pre-order a game? A big dick in your mouth." Child. Turn. Let me tell you something about drugs. There's a time and a place for everything, and it's called college.